This lesson has been developed in the framework of SCILED project. Module 2, Footwear Sustainability. Unit 2, Framework for Sustainability Evaluation and Assessment in Footwear.
Lesson 2.3. Online Tools Developed by Sustainable Apparel Coalition, SAC. This lesson is structured as following.
Sustainable Apparel Coalition, SAC, HIGG Index Product Tools, HIGG Materials Sustainability Index, MSI, MSI Contributor, HIGG Design and Development Module, DDM, HIGG Facility Tools, HIGG Brand and Retail Module, HIGG BRM.
Sustainable Apparel Coalition, SAC.
The Sustainable Apparel Coalition, SAC, is one of the most important alliance between clothing, footwear and textiles companies, whose aim is to promote sustainable production. Collective action on a global scale is needed to reach such a great goal, so the SAC involves companies from all over the world and focuses on the construction of the HIGG Index, a standardized method of measuring environmental sustainability. The origins of the coalition date back to 2009 when John Fleming, the chief merchandising officer of Walmart, a well-known U.S. retail chain, signed an invitation letter together with Yvon Chouinard, the founder of Patagonia. Together they invited other executive directors of the largest companies in the clothing sector, also competitors, to join them in creating an index of measurement for the environmental impact of their products. The two companies reached their goal and many CEOs attended the meeting and joined the cause to build what would later become the HIGG Index, thus creating the Sustainable Apparel Coalition, SAC.
Year on year, the coalition achieved important results. And only 1 year after the signing of the agreement, a first version of the index was released. In 2012, the SAC managed to involve Nike, which previously had built its index called the Nike Considered Index.
This was used by the company to analyze the environmental impact of the materials that were used in its clothing and footwear. After a series of meetings, Nike made its database public by sharing it with the SAC, supporting the development of the HIGG Materials Sustainability Index, the first tool of the HIGG Index suite. Over the years, the SAC and the index have grown by adding more different tools and involving more and more companies around the world. Today there are more than 250 and represent about 40% of the clothing value chain. The coalition aims to create standardization in measuring sustainability in the world of clothing, footwear and textiles. Reach this goal would allow companies to understand their inefficiencies, help them to make their choices clear and by answering to new consumer requests. So what is the HIGG Index Suite? It is a set of tools that allow brands, retailers, and companies measure and score the sustainability of products, at any time of their product's life cycle, or even to a company as a whole. This allows having an overall vision able to create significant improvements to protect the well-being of workers, communities and the environment.
Furthermore, for companies that are taking the first steps towards sustainable production, it allows them to understand opportunities and areas for improvement. Instead, for those who are already on this path, it offers more specific tools to identify risks and objectives.
The suite is online and is divided into 3 big areas:
Product Tools, Facility Tools, Brand and Retail Tool.
HIGG Index Product Tools allows understanding the environmental impact of clothing, footwear and textiles. It contains the HIGG Materials Sustainability Index, HIGG MSI, the HIGG MSI Contributor and the HIGG Design and Development Module, HIGG DDM. The Facility Tools allows measuring the environmental impact and social sustainability of manufacturing companies around the world. Finally, the Brand and Retail Tool assesses the sustainability of a product's life cycle, its environmental performance and social impact along the entire value chain.
HIGG Index Product Tool.
The main purpose of the HIGG Index Product Tools is to verify the environmental sustainability of a product. The tools can be used during the design phase or even immediately after the creation of an object for a more accurate evaluation of its environmental impact. The HIGG product tools allow designers and developers to make more sustainable decisions during each phase of product development, from the first prototype to the research of raw materials up to the final design. Providing detailed information to designers during the design stage, it is possible to have a big positive impact on the entire productive process.
3 different tools have been available since 2016. The HIGG Material Sustainability Index, MSI, the MSI Contributor and the HIGG Design and Development Module, DDM.
This easy-to-use tool is the main contribution of the SAC to the HIGG Index product tool. It is an online index, totally free and accessible without registration, which analyzes various materials used in the world of apparel and footwear. These are analyzed following their life cycle, from birth to the grave, based on the Life Cycle Assessment, LCA. In this way, product designers and large companies in the apparel, footwear and home textiles have the opportunity to check the material's environmental impact. Initially developed by Nike, the HIGG MSI, it is constantly updated, allowing to view the scores of the 80 materials in the database. It is also possible to customize them by changing some key points and specific processes used during manufacturing. This also allows comparing scores of different materials until the results expected by the designer or the company is reached. The Materials Index includes 10 categories:
textiles, synthetic leather, plastics, rubber/elastomers, metals, wood-based materials, insulation material, coatings and laminations, and last but not least foam. Within these categories it is possible to find the various materials. Each of these has a sustainability score and a color scale that allows the users to easily understand the score of the material. Furthermore, it is possible to filter the materials with 3 different methods: benchmark, impact, blend components. Once entered the material, it's possible to change some parameters to customize it and in turn compare it with others.
This section allows the SAC members to enter data relating to a given material and its production inside the index. It facilitates the creation of a common language in the field of environmental sustainability for the apparel, footwear and textile objects. With the introduction of more sustainable materials within the index, it is possible to make even more conscious design decisions by reducing the environmental impact. The HIGG DDM is a tool available only to SAC members and is useful in the very early stages of designing a garment, shoe or home textile product by developers and designers. This is because it is in the very early stages of design that the environmental impact of a product can be reduced by up to 80%. The HIGG DDM was born from the need of designers and developers to create sustainable products with appropriate tools. Thanks to this tool, products can receive a score choosing the product category, and answering some questions concerning materials, the production technologies, repair and care, the lifespan and end of life. The given answers create a score with whose is possible to understand where to act to improve sustainability. Each product can also be compared with others from the same company or with those from different industries. The output of the HIGG DDM analyzes the entire life cycle of a product. In this way it prepares the ground for a possible life cycle assessment, LCA. The data that the designers and developers will face are not suitable for public distribution but are designed to internal use.
HIGG Facility Tools.
This module aims to analyze the environmental impact of individual industrial complexes as physical structures and not as entities. Precisely because of its nature, it can be developed by any company at any point in the value chain of apparel, footwear or textile product. Users carry the assessment at least once a year. These are then checked by authorized staff trained by the SAC. Through benchmarking, it is possible to compare the performance with one of peers and competitors. To achieve this goal, SAC created a form to fill out, the HIGG Facility Environmental Module. The HIGG FAM provides a clear guide for the company and highlights the best practices in the field currently put into practice. With this module it is also possible to open a dialogue with the other components of the value chain, to improve together and increase the performance of the entire chain. In addition to the FAM, it is also possible to submit the HIGG Facility Social and Labor Module, HIGG FSLM. The FSLM is a tool to promote safe and ethically correct working conditions.
HIGG Brand and Retail Module.
Big brands and retailers are fundamental to promote and communicate sustainable practices and products, especially in the long term. In this scenario, users are also increasingly interested in supporting the social and production practices of sustainable brands and retailers. The HIGG Brand and Retail Module, HIGG BRM, verifies sustainable policies and practices of a company at all levels of sustainability, from the most basic to the most correct and sustainable. Inside the HIGG BRM, like for the facility tools, there are 2 layers of analysis, the environmental and the social/labor. Brands and retailers can enter their data and receive scores divided by categories, for example, production technologies, packaging and transport, as well as an overall brand score. Users would only see the overall scores without being able to see the other brands but understanding their positioning in the benchmarking. It is up to the users the opportunity to share their positioning with other companies to create new partnerships and spread their best practices. The beta version of the HIGG BRM was released in 2018.
Insights.
To learn more about the SAC and each tools, visit the access the listed links.